Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to the PG Show, where we talk about all things college football and Sooner Nation. You guys are just lucky. In 1 week, you guys are getting to know three Sooner players, and I guess one of these is a future Sooner player. But I have Samuel Omosigho on with us today. Hey, how are you doing?
Doing amazing.
All right. Well, hey, let's just go ahead and let's just jump right into it and give Sooner Nation an opportunity to learn more about you. So just tell me a little bit more about, where did you grow up, and a little bit more about your family.
Well, me personally, I've been here in Dallas most of my entire life and really grown and nurtured the place. I love Texas. Me and my family is a Texas family, and that's the only place we stayed in our years of staying in Texas and staying in America. My parents came from Africa, originally came from Africa and traveled here, and they stayed in Texas ever since. So me and my family have been a Texas family since then.
So where from Africa were they from? I have it's actually funny. So we had a college student that came and stayed with us for 5 years from Rwanda. And then we also have another buddy that goes to our church, and he is from Cameroon. So, yeah. So where are your parents from?
My dad is from Nigeria and my mom's from Zambia.
Okay. I don't think I've ever heard of Zambia. Where's that located?
It's more on the west side.
More on the west side. And what's the native language out there? Because I hear that there's all different, everybody kind of speaks something different in Africa. Like I think in Rwanda they speak a lot of French, but in Cameroon it's like a mixture of French and some other stuff. So
Well, on my mom's side, one of her main languages is French and Swahili. And on my dad's side, they have a specific language called Igbo.
okay, that's cool. So this is always interesting to learn about different cultures. What is the food like compared to what we have here in America? No, because seriously, I would have never guessed, because when we had that college student, his name was Patrick, here from Rwanda. He cooked us some amazing food, but you would have never guessed it would have been amazing. So what's that food kind of like compared to America? But what are some of the biggest cultural differences?
Biggest cultural differences is that Africa is more hands-on. They're not as technically advanced as us, but they're really more interactive. They more family to family based. The whole village knows everybody in the village. As they're that close, and the food especially. The food's really more hands-on. It's you eat everything with your hands back there. You have a dish called fufu and stew. It's pretty good. It's almost a paste type thing, like a yeast type roll. It's pretty hard to explain, but if you see, it's an amazing dish. One of my favorites.
Okay, well that's interesting. Yeah, when you get to Norman, you'll have to cook some of this food for the players, and then post pictures about it on your Instagram or your Twitter so we can all see it. But I think I'm looking at it here on it's interesting. That looks interesting. So, well, that's definitely interesting to learn. So, what brought your parents here to America?
Bible college, actually. They came from Bible college, and that's the place that they met.
Okay, that's interesting. Where did they go to Bible college at?
Institute in Dallas called CFNI. It's a pretty small institute.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's pretty interesting. So, what's your biggest motivation? What motivates you to be able to go out there and play football? And yeah.
My biggest goal right now is to retire my parents. That's my goal. My parents, I don't want parents to work any longer than they have to. I want them to retire them by their age. When I get in the NFL, that's the goal. And my goal is to retire my parents and give back what they gave to me.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I've had a couple people on that have said stuff similar like that, and it always makes you root for that player a little bit more when you know that they're in it to give something back. So that's awesome. So, what are some of your hobbies outside of football?
I really enjoy chilling with the boys or gaming. I'm a pretty big gamer myself. I'll be playing a lot of Warzone, Apex, Madden, 2K, a lot of those type of games.
Yeah, so when you get to Norman, you're going to be taking on Billy Bowman in Madden, right?
Oh yeah, I already played him.
Yeah, he talks a lot of smack on Twitter about
Oh
how,
yeah,
he's the best.
yeah, I already played him.
So, what's your go-to team in Madden and
The
2K?
Rams, the Rams and
The
Madden,
Rams.
and either the Lakers or the Nets in 2K.
Okay. Okay. So, NBA question. Who's better, LeBron or Michael Jordan? Who's the GOAT?
It depends how you look at it, because in this era, LeBron is the GOAT, but in the era, MJ. But if you go back to MJ's era when those things were more physical and more grimy, I don't know if LeBron would be able to survive in MJ's era. But MJ
Yeah.
would be able to survive in LeBron's era because it's also more of a shooting era, and MJ could shoot very well. So in that sense, I'm gonna have to go with MJ.
I agree with you on that one. And I think a lot of other people will agree with you on that one as well. If you guys are listening, let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Who do you think's the GOAT of the NBA? But going to Madden, who do you think's the best football? Or I guess the quarterback. Who's the GOAT in quarterback for NFL?
Tom Brady, hands down,
Tom Brady, huh?
hands down.
I'm not a huge Tom Brady fan, but I don't know. It seems like that's the consensus. But
You
I,
just
I
gotta
I guess I
respect.
just hate him because he wins a lot. So
Yeah,
it's like Nick Saban in Alabama. Nobody likes Nick Saban in Alabama
that's
unless you're an
very
Alabama
true.
fan because they just win a lot.
That is very true.
So yeah, so give us a little insight to your recruitment, right? I think when I looked earlier, your final two, you were down between OU and Florida. But obviously, there were a lot of other schools that had recruited you. So, give us a little insight to who recruited you and why you chose Oklahoma over the Gators.
Well, we had a lot of schools recruiting me. We had schools from A&M that recruited me. Schools that were pushing hard. We had Duke. Uh, we had Washington. We had schools from coast to coast that were recruiting me. But like, first thing first, the distance back to the house is a big factor because I don't want my parents having to go super far to come see me or vice versa. And the next thing is the feeling of the school. You know, the feel of the school. That's a very big important factor as well. Because if the school is not feeling right, yeah, I can have an amazing facility. Yeah, I can have a bunch of money, but if the feel is not right, then you won't be in the right place. You're not going to be happy where you're at because all that money and all that luxurious features they go away. They lose the newness to it. They lose that good feeling to it. So it has to be the feeling of the place, the feeling of the people there, the feeling of the coaches, all the information they're pouring out to you, the genuinity of the coaches, of the people there is really what brought me to Oklahoma.
Okay, and you said earlier a little bit about how back in Africa, like it's more of like a family community, right? Like everybody's tight, everybody knows each other. What was
Yeah,
that like when you came to Norman? Because we've heard it from other recruits and from a lot of the other guys that are already been here at Norman, which is hey, like Brent Venables and the staff, like they live that family mentality. It's you guys are
definitely,
more than just a football team. Did that
most
play a huge
definitely.
factor into that as well?
Yes, I was hearing him talking. That's one of the first things he said that it takes a village to raise a son and to raise a child, and that really poured into me and that really touched me.
Yeah. Well, we know you're going to be in good hands, being coached by Ted Roof and Brent Venables and that staff. You're definitely going to have that opportunity to grow and, potentially be a top draft pick in the NFL. That's what Brent
That's the
Venables and
goal.
this staff is good at. That's what they're good at. They're good at taking guys that are maybe flying a little bit more under the radar, or not the 5-star guys, and developing them into first and second and third round draft picks. So
It's true.
yeah. So give us a little bit of insight to just what is it, how do you feel like you're going to be able to grow at Oklahoma, not just as like a football player, but like just as a man and being able to go out there and like lead your family and be a leader on the team?
I know I'm gonna grow very, very much. To start off as a football player, I know I'm gonna grow exponentially because we have great staff around me and great people that are gonna continue to push me and make me a better player. But off the field, I know I'm gonna grow great in my education because they make sure that education is a big part of their program, and also like spiritually and mentally, I'm grow into a better man and be able to be a proud father and a proud son to my parents.
Okay, that's a good answer. That's a good answer. So you've been to Norman, right? You've been to Norman at least once before?
3 times.
3 times.
Could be
What
getting my
is
4th tomorrow.
Yeah, for all of you who don't know, there's a party going on at the Palace tomorrow, and it's going to be rocking, and all those 2023 recruits are going to be there. It's going to be awesome.
Oh yeah.
But I'm assuming you've ate in Norman. If there's a place that you could have an NIL deal with in Norman when you get here for food, where would that be? Because and this is an interesting question because nobody has given the same answer yet.
Has to be Louis.
Louis, huh? You know what? Ethan Downs said that one too. So you guys are going to be on the same boat there. Louis is a popular restaurant. Yeah, we have the one over here on the lake, over at Lake Hefner in Oklahoma City. Oh, it's so nice. They have live music and stuff, and yeah,
Louis is good.
So, what are some of your goals that you have for yourself this year, for your senior year, in going into the college?
Senior year, my goal is to leave high school 5-star. That's the goal, to prove everyone that even out of a small town it's possible, and to be able to be a player that you don't have to know who I am. You just see the tape or you just see me in person, see how I play, and be like, wow, this kid's going somewhere.
That'll be nice. If we can get you as a 5-star, that'll be really nice. That'll jump us up in that composite score, which will make the fans really, really, really happy.
Oh yeah.
So I see you and Jackson Arnold out there recruiting all the time. Do you and Jackson Arnold have conversations about how, like, who you're going to recruit and everything? Or are you guys just kind of throwing it out there saying, hey, we need you here, come here, you got to be a part of this?
It's a bit of both. Me and him, we talk, me and him try to lead this recruiting thing, try to make sure we're on top of it. So me and him, we have a few conversations, but most of the time it's just, hey, I see a guy, we have to recruit him, go at it, just like that.
Yeah, so have you had a chance to talk to Peyton Bowen yet and get him to flip? Because OU fans are waiting on that one. They really want Peyton Bowens here.
Oh yeah, me and him been chatting a little bit. I can't say too much right now, but we've been talking.
Yeah, I know Jackson Arnold had him on an Instagram live stream the other day, and it was a question that kept getting asked. He's like, "Oh, I'm Notre Dame all the way." He's like, "Notre Dame's such a better place to know you," and I'm just like, "Come on, man, just go ahead and give it to us."
Okay.
So, what is one thing that you're most excited about when you get here to OU? Is it to play that first game and be in the Palace? Is it to experience a night game? Like, what is one of the most things that you're excited about to experience while you're here in Oklahoma to be on the team?
OU versus Texas. The Red River. The Cotton Bowl game. OU versus Texas.
Just don't throw the horns down and give us a 15-yard penalty. Do that after the game, after you guys win, then you guys can throw it down.
Oh yeah, I gotta be smart.
Yeah, and drink lots of water that day because it gets
always
hot.
100-degree games.
Yeah, have you been there yet to any of those games?
I went to the one last year. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, come on, tell us how that was when.
That was unbelievable.
Yeah, when Caleb came in and.
Oh my goodness, we were down 18 points, came back. Oh my gosh. One of the best football games I've ever watched.
Texas fans talk a lot of crap, and then they let stuff like that happen. Like, if you let something like that happen, you can't talk.
Yep.
So, tell us, what was it like to watch Caleb Williams come in? One, hit that huge run, but then
change the game around.
Yeah, and then when he threw that pass to Marvin Mims, and you see Marvin Mims kind of just shift his body just enough to stay, keep that foot in bounds, and
it was exceptional. I was flabbergasted. I couldn't even imagine. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was like I'm watching a uh, spectacular highlights clip for the entire season all in one game.
Yeah. So who do you think is going to be the best receiver on the team this year? Is it going to be Theo East? Is it going to be Farouk? Is it going to be Marvin Mims? Because even though we had the exodus of players, we still have a good wide receiver room.
I think Marvin Mims is still gonna secure the top spot, especially with Dylan Gabriel at the quarterback spot. Oh yeah.
People are underestimating the offense this year. If Dylan, Dylan Gabriel and Jeff Lebby, they've played together before. They're going to be just fine. And then everybody's like, "Oh, well, look at his stats at UCF, yeah, and look at what he did with less wide receivers." I said, now he's going to have dang near 5-star wide receivers to throw to. This means he's going to have a Heisman type of season. So, well, what's one of your favorite college football players?
Of all time or currently?
Let's do all time and then let's do current.
Has to be Baker Mayfield. Has to be Big Bake. He was different. He was a different breed. And currently, Bijan Robinson. I know he's a Texas guy. I know he's the opposition, but his talent, his skill, it shows.
Yeah, so it's funny that you bring up Bijan Robinson in Texas, and we talked about OU in Texas. Was there any consideration and thought about going to the University of Texas? Because I thought that was kind of interesting that they weren't in your top two, especially with the way that Texas has been recruiting.
Texas, they were recruiting me. They were hot for a second, but they never extended the offer. And I was a little shocked, a little angered by it actually, because I'm a Texas dude, a pretty decent recruit, and they did not get an offer. So I was like, okay. So now I went to the opposing school and have a little chip on my shoulder every year.
Hey, you know what? And then after you beat them next year, you can just kind of look over at the sidelines and say, "That's why you should have recruited me," or something.
Oh yeah.
Let them know why.
Definitely.
Let them know why. So, but Baker Mayfield's an interesting choice. Probably one of the, I wouldn't say the best OU players of all time, and I know that might get some people.
Go. Sorry, kick me out.
So yeah, Baker Mayfield was an interesting choice. He, and I know this might strike some people. I don't know if he's the best OU football player of all time, or especially even the greatest quarterback. I think you give that to Sam Bradford. I think Sam Bradford's the greatest OU quarterback of all time, but he's definitely the most beloved OU player of all time. And
most definitely.
And I think just the way he brings that energy, we haven't had that in a while. I think with Caleb and Spencer, we just didn't have that. So definitely, we got to have somebody else. Maybe that's the role you take, to come in, bring that energy.
Most definitely.
Hey, did you ever watch or hear of the Boz?
The Boz?
Bosworth. Brian Bosworth.
Oh, the linebacker?
Yes.
I've heard about him. I've used him in Madden, but not really watched him.
Okay, you got to go back and you got to watch a little bit of his highlights, and you got to go back and look at how he, just, composed himself. That's yeah. You do that, you'll become an OU. You'll become an OU fan favorite real quick. The Bosworth is everybody's favorite. So, well, before I go ahead and let you go, and I know again, Sooner fans are going to be really excited to have you up here tomorrow. What's one thing you want to say to Sooner Nation?
Sooner Nation, thank y'all for letting me come in, letting a little small town boy be a part of y'all, and keep showing the love, keep doing the good things y'all doing. Y'all doing amazing, and horns down.